Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. Welcome to the end of the season. We're getting closer. Massive game against Newcastle tomorrow. We're going to be looking ahead to that. Man City dropped points against Southampton. Tomorrow just got even bigger. We're going to dive into all of the permutations for the Champions League race. Got the latest transfer news as well. Victor Osimhen's wage demands have been revealed, guys. Chelsea apparently are still in contact with Alejandro Garnacho's representatives. Jerel Haaland is 100% on Chelsea's list of targets, whilst the Blues are also waiting on Dean Huijsen's final decision. Plus, interestingly, Strasbourg are hopeful of keeping Andre Santos for another season, whilst Jamie Gittins is a long-term target, but he's one of several names under consideration, along with the likes of Morgan Rogers. So loads and loads to dive into. We've got Aston Villa and Bournemouth on right now. I don't really, with the greatest of respect, consider Villa to really be in this race, but, you know, they could do something if they win all of their remaining games. The task for them is simple. But big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. Get involved in the chat. Let's say hello to a few of you guys, and then we're going to get this show on the road. Yes, big up, brother. Keeping that show away from Chelsea's been awful. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, it's mad. Absolutely mad. City dropping points away at Southampton. Huge. Yeah, Villa have to win all their games. Villa are done if they don't win all their games. If we take care of business, I think 4 points from the last 9 will wrap it. I think we need 6. We need 6 points to absolutely guarantee it. We need 2 wins from 3. Chelsea, please do your job tomorrow. Yeah, we need to do our job tomorrow. Don't think we'll beat Newcastle in their backyard, but if we can nick a draw, I'd take it. Bro, I agree with you. I don't think we win, but I've got increased confidence that I don't think we'll lose. What else is coming in? A point against the Geordies wouldn't be a disaster. No, it wouldn't be a disaster at all. Man United are dreadful. They'll also be resting players for the Europa League final. They didn't give a shit about the Premier League anymore. So, yeah, it could well come down to that final day against Nottingham Forest. But, yeah, guys, let's start there then. Let's start there. Let's get the Premier League table up because it's mad right now. Absolutely mad. This is the top 7 right now. Obviously, I presume that's with Villa's game not done yet. Yeah, Villa have not played yet. So they're playing right now. So that's not taking their points into account. But Arsenal 67, City 65, Newcastle and Chelsea 63 with Forest 61. Forest have got Leicester tomorrow at home. You'd probably put them on 64. And then obviously there's us and Newcastle 63. What's mad, right? And I do fully agree with this, is that between December the 22nd, I think, so between that Everton game away and February the 22nd, so between the 22nd of December and the 22nd of February, which is, what, 2 months? We won 2 league matches between December and February, so 2 months. And yet we could still finish 2nd or 3rd in the Premier League. Possibly more likely 3rd. But the fact that we won 2 games between December and February and we could still finish 3rd in the Premier League goes to show how poor the league is this season in terms of quality. Look, Liverpool absolutely deserve their credit. Best team by an absolute mile. They got the spine and whatnot. They got a good manager. But let's be real. The Premier League has never been easier to win. This must be the easiest Premier League title that's been won in a long, long time. You know, you've got Man City completely out of the picture. Arsenal, bottle jobs. There's no Man United in the mix. Chelsea aren't good enough. Newcastle aren't good enough. It's mental. But this would be a huge, huge opportunity. Win tomorrow, and that puts us into 3rd place in the league. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Whether you're 2nd or 5th, it makes no difference because you're going to be playing Champions League football either way. It's a few extra millions in terms of prize money. But the fact of the matter is, we have been presented now with an unbelievable opportunity, an even bigger opportunity than we might have had pre-game. Oh, sorry, before that. That's going to be fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Wow. Yeah. Things just went up a level in the stakes for the Champions League. Look, I'll be honest, guys. Ourselves and Newcastle, we can both afford to lose a game, one of our last three, because 69 points will get you Champions League football. We can afford to lose one. Okay, and then I'd probably, if we lost tomorrow, it wouldn't be great. It wouldn't be ideal, but it's still in our hands. We'd have to beat Man United, beat Forest. Very simple. If Newcastle were to lose tomorrow, they've got to go to Arsenal and then they host Everton. Can Newcastle win both those games? Absolutely they can, but that might be a little bit more, that could be a little bit more difficult for them. So, yeah, whilst I would absolutely take a point now, would be over the moon with 3. If we did lose, whilst it's not great at all, it's not a complete disaster because we can still win 2 from 3, and that would be enough. Yes, our record at St James's Park is dreadful. No doubts about it. It's not very good at all. And we've got to do something we've not been able to do for a number of years. Win a big game away from home. That record's got to end at some point, and tomorrow would be the best opportunity to do it. But yeah, beating Forest away will be difficult, but beating Forest away will be an easier task than beating Newcastle away. That's the reality. That's it's as simple as that, really, as far as I'm concerned. But we'll come back to the game later on. Let's talk about transfers, guys. Because people are always wanting to know about Victor Osimhen. Is he going to come to Chelsea? Will he come to Chelsea? I think the answer is probably no. But the latest update from Fabrizio Romano. Premier League top clubs are still interested in Osimhen, but the problem is the salary. It is 12 million euros, so 10 million pounds per season. This is why it was never close between Chelsea and Osimhen last summer. Now, 10 million pounds a season, I don't know what that works out as, but I would imagine that works out at I imagine that would work out at around, 250k a week? It must be that. I reckon it's around 200k a week. Oh, it's net. That's fucking after tax. That's after tax. Or 230. I think it's about 200 to 250k. Net. Yeah, net is mental. The guy needs to lower his demands. That's wild. 200, 250k. Yeah, that's mental. Like, if it was 230k, that would, I think the deal would be done. Chelsea would do that. Between 320 and 380 a week gross, that's criminal. You know, if you're an Erling Haaland or whatever, then yeah, okay, you get a bit more of a credence to it. But that's mental. That's absolutely mental. Yes, but bro, he's also playing in a Turkish league. So let's 10 million pounds after tax is crazy. Absolutely crazy. This brother needs to lower his demands. You know, he needs to lower that shit. You know, and I don't blame Chelsea for not wanting to pay that. I don't blame Chelsea for not wanting to pay that at all. I really don't. And you can understand why You can understand why teams aren't interested in him. You can understand why. He's not going to stay at Galatasaray. There's no way he's going to stay there. Victor Osimhen is not staying at Galatasaray. The relationship between him and Napoli is over. Release clause is 70 million euros. Now, the price tag has never been the issue with Osimhen. It's never been the issue. The issue for all the top clubs is the salary, as we just discussed. This is why the deal between Chelsea and Osimhen was not close, because it was about the salary. If this guy really wants to play for Chelsea, which Mikel says he does, and he's said that a number of times, if he really wants to play for us, lower your demands, play well, and earn your money. It's very simple. If you want to play, you come, you lower your demands, and then you play well, and you get rewarded with more money. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. But I don't believe that this brother wants to come to Chelsea. I really don't, because if he wanted to come, he would have signed for us. He would have lowered his demands, he would have put his head down, and he would have performed well. The team would have performed well, hopefully. And then he would have been able to earn more money. It's incredibly simple. Incredibly simple, guys. But it looks like Osimhen is made. If he's money orientated, I haven't got an issue with that. That's his prerogative. He wants to make as much money as he possibly can. He believes he's worth a certain amount of money. But at the end of the day, 10 million net, that's crazy. Crazy. The issue is that he gets that in Italy because they get a crazy tax reduction, which you won't get in the UK. No, exactly. He won't. He won't. We should have done the Lukaku swap. I don't know how possible the Lukaku swap was, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know if that was a you have to you have to do it. I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It is a tough one. Look, he's clearly good. He scored a hatful of goals at Galatasaray. I don't think there's any doubt about his quality. I think he would suit the Premier League. Sure. I don't disagree with that. And he would score goals for us. Now, is he worth around 350 grand a week? That's what you have to weigh up. Do you think the benefits that Osimhen gives you? Yeah, no, bro, big up. I agree. I agree with you on that. I do agree with you. You know, if you're top quality, then you pay the money. It's very simple. But then on the flip side, you can also argue if, like Mikel says, he desperately wants to come and he wants to play for Chelsea and he loves Chelsea and he wants to emulate Drogba and all this stuff that we've been hearing, then you lower your demands slightly, you come and play, you do well, and then you earn more money. So you can look at it both ways. Like, I get it. You know, if you're not doubting the quality, you pay the money. But then there's also the flip side of that, which I've just said in terms of if you really want to come here, then you reduce your wages slightly and you perform well and you earn more money. You have to earn your money a bit easier. But it's going to be a problem either way. But this is not just a Chelsea issue. I don't think any Premier League clubs are going to pay I don't think any Premier League clubs are going to pay that money, because Man United are obviously drastically trying to bring their wage bill down. I don't think they're going to be offering ludicrous contracts anymore like they have done in the past. And then Arsenal, would they pay that much? They potentially would. If they were serious, maybe they would. Liverpool, would they do it? I'm not sure. I mean, Liverpool have just given Virgil van Dijk 400 grand a week, but I don't know what money Mo Salah's on. I don't know if they've got room for a third player to be earning that amount of money. City, they don't need Osimhen. And then that's it. You're looking at Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man United as 4 Premier League clubs that could do with Victor Osimhen. Okay. None of those clubs are paying that money. Now, whether they should or not is a different conversation. I absolutely agree. Whether they should or not, different conversation. But yeah, I'm so torn about this because part of me is just like, it's not my money. Fuck it. Pay him the money. And he scores the goals and he makes a big difference for us. But then the other part of me is just like, could we do... The problem is, though, right, is that the market for strikers is not good. Because you say, okay, we're not going to pay him that money. But then you're shopping at the next level down. You're then looking at Delaps. You're then looking at Amiga at Strasbourg. You're looking at Ekitike, Sesko's. Next level down. And I've said this before, the striker market's not good. There are 2 strikers available this summer on the market who make a difference. They are Victor Osimhen and they're Victor Gyökeres. And in my opinion, you do everything you can to get either one of those players through the door. The issue is, are the wages worth the gamble? Are the wages worth the gamble? For me, 250k, no problem. I would do it. But when you're looking at 320, 350 a week, that is so much more than anyone else. So much more than anyone else. And would Osimhen deserve that? It's very difficult. For me, I think the most likely... Well, we do need a top striker. There's no denying that. We absolutely need a top striker. He has to know his market. Yeah, and the tax rate is high in England. That top bracket, that could easily be 50%. Could easily be 50%. Easy 50%. But the problem is, though, you look at it and you think, does Osimhen turn you into title contenders? And if you're Chelsea, you stick Victor Osimhen in the team, you suddenly think, maybe we could mount a title challenge. And then when you look at it that way, you're like, all right, well, if you have to pay someone 320, 350k a week, then do you... Is that a gamble? Is that something worth doing? It should be a no-brainer. This is my point. You know, if you want to play for Chelsea and you're desperate to play for Chelsea, then come and join. You know, but the reality is he's happy to join Chelsea if he gets paid the money he wants. But if somewhere else offers him the money, he'll go there. And we know full well Saudi Arabia have got absolutely no issues in offering him that money. They'd offer him 2, 3, 4, 5 times that money. No issues at all. And then it comes down to, are you money oriented, are you money driven, or are you football driven? And that's what we need to ascertain here. But I would love Victor Osimhen to sign for Chelsea. But at the end of the day, we weren't prepared to pay the money last summer for his wages. And as far as I'm concerned, in 12 months, we're not, in my opinion, we're not going to have significantly shifted our stance to decide that 12 months later, actually, we will pay him the money. 1-0 Villa. What I don't get is we offered him a base with performance-related allowance, and he said no. So he isn't backing himself to get the numbers in the Prem. Yeah, look, you could look at it that way as well. You could look at it that way. You either back yourself or... Yeah, look, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I get it, as a footballer, you think you've got a certain worth. That's fine. You know, you think you're worth a certain amount of money. Fair play. But then I get your point as well, where you're like, okay, look, if it's performance related, back yourself to do well and earn that money. It's not difficult, guys. It's not difficult. He's 26, Victor Osimhen. The release clause is more than affordable. It's never been about the transfer fee. It's always been about the wages. But I think we have to be honest here, guys. And we've missed our chance. The chance was last summer, and the chance is gone. Well, I say the chance is gone. The chance is not gone. The chance is there. You know the stipulations. And basically, Chelsea, you have to weigh up whether you're prepared to pay him that much money. And in this PSR days and in the situation where finances are so tight, you're not seeing top clubs in the Premier League now. They're not offering massive, massive contracts like they might have done in the past. You know, they're really not. They're really not. In previous years, Chelsea would have literally, if it was Roman, Osimhen would have been signed last summer, and we'd be paying him 320, 330, 340, maybe even 350 pounds a week. And it wouldn't even be a question. No one would be discussing it. No one would be discussing it at all. But the fact of the matter is, I think football's changed slightly. Finances have become more important. And what's also important, guys, is that you smash that like button. We're 33 likes, but we're only 33 likes, but there's over 80 people in the building. Make sure you smash that like button. Get this up to 50 likes as quickly as possible, guys. Run the likes up, people. I would really appreciate it. And please hit the subscribe button as well. Chris has said all clubs in the Prem are not going to pay it. Looks like Saudi for him. Bro, I've been to Saudi a couple of times. Amazing life. You know, I can see why these guys would go there. Fair play, you know. You get one shot. And that's it. And so if he wants to go there, I haven't got an issue with it. But what I've got an issue with is Mikel coming out saying he loves to play for Chelsea. He wants to. Well, if you really want to do something, you make sacrifices for it. So there we go. Depends on how much do you really want it. If you want something badly enough, you will make the sacrifices in order to achieve it. I don't see him doing that, which is absolutely his situation. But I think what you're seeing now as well, guys, is a lot more people. Yeah, and teams are. You're seeing a lot of teams now are looking to sign younger players, longer term contracts, and teams are doing a lot more business on frees. Players now, I think you're going to see a lot more players running their contracts down. You will see a lot more top players go on free transfers. You absolutely will. You'll see a lot more top players go on free transfers, players running their contracts down, and that's gonna be what happens. We're gonna see more and more of that. Get Gyökeres, yeah, bro. I'm with you on that. I'm absolutely with you on that. So that's the latest on Victor Osimhen. No one in the Premier League is prepared to pay those wages. So unless he drops them or someone changes their mind, then for me, Osimhen will be going to Saudi Arabia. Worst kept secret. If I was a betting man and I had to place a bet now, Victor Osimhen will sign for Al Hilal and he'll play in the Club World Cup for them this summer. That would be, if I was a betting man, that would be my bet. We demand Chelsea to sign top players, but we whine about them not wanting to join us because we offered low wages. No, but there's lower wages. But the thing is, I think there's a misconception here. Chelsea do offer a lower base salary, so it's a lower guaranteed amount. But if you do well, you can earn significantly more money because it's performance-related contracts. And I haven't got an issue with that. You know, at some point you have to back yourself as a player. The money these players get is abhorrent. People fight for this country for less than 30k. Yeah, well, that's a separate conversation. I mean, look, whether the money's abhorrent or not, I think more of the question is that other jobs should be paid more. I think is the main thing. Gyökeres will demand big wages too. Sure, Gyökeres' wages will be big. I would be stunned if they were anywhere near the amount that that Victor Osimhen is on. So let's wait and see. I think we can snatch Gyökeres. We have to get Champions League football. At a bare minimum, we need to be playing Champions League football if we want to attract Gyökeres. The rest of them is neither here nor there. because we've been able to get players we've wanted. You know, Chelsea have been able to attract players without Champions League football. We've made signings. We've signed good players without the Champions League. Yeah, exactly. Exactly this, bro. Exactly this. I don't think it's a ridiculous thing to say that, you know, yes, you can earn the money that you want, but you have to work to earn that. You're not just going to be given it all. I don't see an issue with that per se. Yeah, yeah, of course, you know, and that higher base salary is going to be more attractive and more, you know, more important to some players. There's no denying that, people. There's absolutely no denying that. No, but bro, this is not 200k a week as a mistake. It's 200k a week gross, I think, which works out net at like over 300. Yeah, exactly. You're going to see clubs are going to be doing transfer business very, very differently because of how stringent the PSR stuff is. Clubs are going to be doing things very, very differently moving forward, guys. Yeah, and do you know what? He might well be. And fair play. No issue with that whatsoever. Each to their own. I've got a problem with players are money oriented. At the end of the day, football's the only job where people get hammered for going where they can earn the most money. If myself or you lot in the chat were offered a job and a job which is considerably more money than your current job, you're leaving. And that's the normal, and that's a very normal thing to do, to go to a job that pays you more. With football, there's a situation where you're lambasted if you make a decision to go for more money. If someone offers me double my money tomorrow, or on a new job, I'm gone. See you later. If I'm offered a job tomorrow, double the money of my current job, I'm gone. Like it's not an outrageous thing to go somewhere or to be money or to go where you can make the most money. You know, football, you're retired by the time you're 35 in most cases. You've got a lot of life left. And yes, you earn a phenomenal amount of money, but people are going to be thinking about their families and things like that. So I understand. But yeah, it's yeah, no, and I agree with that. And I agree with that. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that as well. People also forget how much footballers pay in tax in their respective country. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyway, that's the latest on Victor Osimhen, guys. Wage demand's been revealed by Fabrizio Romano. Unless there's a change of heart from Osimhen, which seems very unlikely, or unless there's a change of heart from Chelsea, which is probably even less likely, then yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing Victor Osimhen in the blue shirt of Chelsea. I think we'll be seeing him in the blue shirt of Al Hilal instead. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see on that one. But let's move to defense now, guys. Let's move to defense because there's been a little bit of an update on Dean Huijsen. So, from Fabrizio Romano's latest YouTube video, Chelsea and other clubs are waiting for Dean Huijsen's decision. Chelsea and Liverpool have Chelsea and Liverpool are waiting for Dean Huijsen. Chelsea and Liverpool also have Hato on their list if they don't get Huijsen. Now, I wonder what's Dean Huijsen waiting for? Is he waiting to see if Chelsea are going to be in the Champions League before deciding? Is he waiting to see if Real Madrid are serious and they want to come in? What are we waiting for here? Is what I'm wondering. Yeah, he does pop up with the odd goal here and there, but we're not signing a centre back because he scores goals. That's absolutely what we're not doing. We are not signing a centre back because he scores goals. You know, that's not why he signed someone. I suspect Højlund is waiting for Champions League, which is why I feel like Liverpool are in the Champions League. Arsenal are interested in a Højlund as well. They're already in the Champions League. It's not going to go to Man City. Newcastle, I don't think so. So maybe he's waiting for... All I can think of, right, is he's waiting to see if Chelsea get Champions League football, or he's waiting for Real Madrid to come in and see if they're genuinely interested. So yeah, I mean, I'm just a little bit. Look, I like Højlund. I don't know if I don't know about the hype. I just don't know about the hype, because he's clearly got talent, clearly got ability. But as we've said, people, this guy was run ragged by Nicholas Jackson. He's had bad games in the Premier League. As you'd expect a young player to have, he's going to make mistakes. Yes, there's ability there. Yes, there's potential and whatnot. But yeah, this is... I don't know if this is the right thing. Yes, he adds height to the back line, which we need. But he's raw, he's inexperienced, and he's going to be massively learning on the job as well. Guys, we're over 100 in the building, only just on 50 likes. Please smash that like button. We should be getting this up towards 100 likes, easy money. So make sure you keep smashing the like button, people, and please subscribe as well. I want to see these likes going up, guys. Come on, people. Yes, I want Gerhi, and I'll tell you why I want Gerhi, because one, he brings leadership and experience. Two, he's an England international. Three, he's got that Premier League experience. He's Premier League proven. And four, he knows the club. You know, and those are all important factors. This is not about whether Højlund's a better player than Gerhi. In my opinion, for what Chelsea need in defence and what they're missing in the back line, Mark Gerhi ticks more boxes than Dean Højlund does. So if you have to sign, if you're only going to sign one centre-back, you sign Mark Gerhi, in my opinion. If you're going to sign two, go and get Højlund and Gerhi. No problem. But if it's going to just be one, then it shouldn't be Dean Højlund, in my opinion. So I think it's clear, guys, he's obviously waiting for whatever the current situation is with Champions League and whatnot to be resolved. And then he'll take his decision from there. Chelsea seem confident they can get him, though. So does Champions League matter? Does Champions League matter? I don't know. I don't know if Champions League matters for Højlund straight away. I'm not sure, because we seem to be able to attract players regardless. And if Højlund ends up joining Chelsea with no Champions League, what are these guys saying in the pitch? Because I reckon if I went and sat in a pitch from Win Stanley and Stewart, or whoever the guys doing the pitches are, they could convince me to do anything. These men could convince me to do anything. You sit in there, they could be like, walk naked down the street after this meeting. They could convince me to do that. I reckon that's how ridiculous these meetings are. Yeah, bro, isn't he like basically Egbali's right-hand man? Not that he's works for Egbali, but like he's basically, you know, real close to Egbali, which has helped us. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, bro, didn't Ali Barat have a massive say in getting Caicedo here and a massive say in getting Nicholas Jackson here as well? I'm pretty sure that was also the case. I think that was right. Yeah, that's the one. I thought so. Caicedo and Jackson, yeah. So look, these relationships with agents and representatives are important and could potentially play a big part. And it makes it very possible. So look, I think, for me, I think Højlund's probably waiting on Champions League to see if Chelsea get that and just waiting to see where teams finish in the league. But I also think he's desperate to see if Real Madrid are going to intensify their interest in him. Will new Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso want Dean Højlund? You know, this is what we have to work out. But I could see him joining Chelsea for sure. But as much as Champions League is an important factor in getting some players, I don't think Champions League will be the deciding factor in Dean Huijsen choosing Chelsea. Don't get me wrong, it will absolutely help, but I don't think that will be the be-all and end-all. But yeah, I think we can expect a decision from Dean Huijsen end of the season, probably. I don't see why he would try before, why he would decide before. I really don't. But then again, he could make a decision tomorrow. Who fucking knows? That's the latest on that. Again, Jerel Haaland is another name on the list. Someone who, okay, yes, he's 19 years old, but I think he's played over 100 times for Ajax. The guy is a left back, really, but he can also play centre back. He's that hybrid left back centre back role, which if Renato Vega leaves in the summer, he would be perfect to fill that void. Can be a left back up to Cucurella, and then can also play in a three at the back, in possession if the right back inverted. So look, this ticks boxes. He's versatile. He's obviously got quality. He's talented. My issue is that Liverpool are interested in him. And I think he would maybe choose Liverpool over Chelsea. For some obvious reasons. Liverpool got Dutch players there, Gakpo and Gravenberch as an example. So yeah, maybe there could be a situation where he could choose them. But look, Hato is a great profile, exciting young player, loads of potential, very good right now. If he wants to play as an outright left back, then Liverpool would be a better choice for him. But because he's not going to play ahead of Cucurella, it depends what he's looking for. He's looking to come in and be a backup option, but still play a lot of games, but you're not going to be the automatic number one. Then yeah, you can come to Chelsea. If he wants to be a number one somewhere and play week in, week out, he would be better off going to Liverpool. But then again, I think Liverpool are going to be going for Milos Kerkez. I think Liverpool are going to be going for Milos Kerkez. Yep, Jerel Haaland is Dutch. What, Zubimendi? I don't think Zubimendi rejected us. I don't think Zubimendi was ever in at Chelsea. I don't think Zubimendi was ever a consideration. Cucurella, yeah, absolutely has got that left-hand side on lock. He's got it on lock, people. Yeah, it's locked in. Yeah, potentially he will. And look, and obviously, of course, I've got Van Dijk, who's Dutch as well. Yeah, we were never linked with Zubimendi. But yeah, look, Hato's an interesting one. Chelsea giving serious consideration to making an offer. I think some reports were saying he'd be available for about 50 million euros. So what's that? 35, maybe 40 odd million pounds. Which is not a bad price for someone like that. Not a bad price for someone like that at all. So we'll wait and see. There's a lot of decisions to be made at the back. Key battle tomorrow will be Gordon and Murphy versus Caicedo and Cucurella. Yep, that will be massive. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be Cucurella against Gordon, but who? You never know, guys. You never know, people. You never know. It could be. So yeah, Jerel Haaland is an alternative, but then Liverpool have got him as an alternative as well. So Chelsea could have a situation where if Dean Huijsen goes to Real Madrid, not only do they miss out on Huijsen, but they could potentially miss out on Haaland as well if Haaland prefers to go to Liverpool, as an example. So yeah, like there's fine margins in the transfer market at the back, but there is going to be a huge reshuffle at the back this summer in terms of centre-backs leaving and in terms of centre-backs potentially coming through the door as well. There's a lot going on, guys. There's a lot going on here. Yeah, I mean, only time will tell what we're going to do. Chelsea aren't going to sell Colwill. Chelsea have had ample opportunities to sell Colwill, and it's clear that they're not going to and they don't want to. Yeah, I'll do the exact same team as we've had for the last 2 games. It's working. We're playing well. It's the best personnel for the system right now. Absolutely the best personnel for the system right now. So stick with the team that we've been using. Stick with that team. Very, very simple, guys. Very, very simple indeed. No questions asked whatsoever. At least Lavia navigates Sanchez bozo moments. Yeah, look, Lavia is a massive, massive plus, offering that protection to the back line. We know this. Let's move away from Jerel Haaland, people. We're gonna let's just bring this up quickly from Pice on his personal account. So at the moment we're getting a lot of stories about Rodgers, and Rodgers obviously is not an out-and-out winger. He's more of a number 10. He can play wide, but his main position is a 10. My total points predicted on 63 right now. I think we'll end on 67 or 68, maybe. Can we get 68? 5 points? Yeah, we can get. Yeah, I think we'll get 68 points, and that'll be enough. Yeah, also understand Chelsea have shortlisted Eze on a list of potential targets, potentially looking for a left wing /10 hybrid. I think that's more likely. When you hear links to players that we've been linked with, there's very few out-and-out wingers. Obviously, Nico Williams, I don't think it's going to happen. Garnacho, obviously, I don't see Chelsea going back in for Garnacho. And then what else are you looking at? You're looking at Gittins, who's an out-and-out winger. But yeah, Rodgers. I would love Morgan Rodgers, but links with Rodgers suggest that maybe Chelsea aren't looking for a pure winger, because Morgan Rodgers is not a pure winger. But then you could play Rodgers on the left, and he could also be an alternative in the 10. So, but then apparently Aston Villa are asking for 90 million quid for Morgan Rodgers. So this is a difficult situation. A difficult situation to navigate. Yeah. Fuck's sake. I mean, look, Eze would be great. I mean, I don't know who'd cost more money, Eze or Rodgers. I mean, I think Rodgers would probably cost more money, but Eze is good. But I think, again, Eze is more of a 10 left wing kind of hybrid as well. I like Eze. I do like Eze. Look, I'd be happy with either one. I'd be happy with either one for sure. Yes, Eze is a little bit older, but either one is good with me. Either one. But it is interesting how, you know, there is genuine interest. That interest in Morgan Rodgers is legit. Like there's no doubt about it. The interest in Morgan Rodgers from Chelsea, absolutely 100% legit. But reports are saying that Rodgers is happy at Villa, but obviously if an opportunity came in and presented itself that he wanted, then he would be open to leaving. But he's not looking to force a move in any way. I don't think Semenyo is better than both. Bournemouth, I think, want ridiculous money for Semenyo anyway. I was seeing some reports quoting figures of like 75 million pounds for Semenyo. I mean, that's just absolutely mental, guys. Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. I mean, I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see what we're going to do this summer. Really, really interested. This it is shaping up to be a fascinating summer. I know we say this every summer, but there's a genuine opportunity this summer. If we do the right business, we can compete for the title next season. That's a massive if, but there is a genuine possibility we could challenge for the title next season if we get the recruitment right. Yeah, William. I mean, one report saying that Williams is potentially demanding as much as 400 grand a week if he makes the switch to the Premier League. Bro, newsflash for you, brother. Nobody is paying you 400k a week. No one. Alicia Keys, no one. Yeah, Eze is good. Eze is good. I do like him. But yeah, look, we do need some proven players. I'd much rather a Morgan Rogers or an Eze than a Bino Gittins, for example. But again, Gittins has got talent and ability, but I would just want someone a bit more proven to come in, someone to come in and make a difference. Eze would make a difference. Morgan Rogers would make a difference. These are difference makers to teams. Gittins, for the talent that he's got, and he does have talent, I don't look at Jamie Gittins right now as a difference maker and someone who can come in and make an impact. I mean, you sign Gittins, he doesn't even start, really. He doesn't even start. Is Gittins better than Madueke? No. Is he better than Neto? No. Is he better than Sancho? Maybe on a par or a little bit worse. And is he better than Tyreek George? Maybe he's a little bit better than Tyreek George. But you're looking at spending maybe 50, 60 million pounds on a Gittins, for example, and he's not really any better than any of the options that you've already got. That's my problem, is that we need to make signings that are better than what we've currently got. And Gittins, in my view, is not better than what we've currently got. Not better. So, yeah, it puts you in a bit of a tricky situation. You know, it puts you in a difficult situation. Mm. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, guys, run the likes up. Run the likes up. What are we on? 73 likes. Let's get this to 100 likes, people. Smash that like button. Come on, guys. Maresca wants quick direct wingers. Rogers and Eze links do not make sense to me. This must be a club signing. Again, it depends what the club are looking for. Because with a lot of the targets, it sounds like more of a left wing number 10 hybrid situation rather than a pure out and out winger. I'm not sure. For me, we either buy Gittins or we buy Rodrigo. I don't want to see anybody around the same levels as Noni on the left. Fair enough. Well, some reports have been saying we're considering a move for Leao. Leao's got talent, Leao's got ability. But again, someone who is just so hugely inconsiderate. Not inconsiderate, sorry. Inconsistent, even. He might be inconsiderate, I don't know him. But no, he's someone that's very inconsistent, guys. Very inconsistent. Issue with 10 wingers hybrid is that we don't do overlapping fullbacks. No, we don't. We don't do that. And then look, if a left winger drifts into the number 10, then you'd like someone on the overlap, and there won't be anyone on the overlap. And you feel like if you're playing a 10 out wide, they're going to drift in, and it's just going to be very congested. Gittins and Gyökeres or Rodrigo in the lap. Chelsea won't spend big on a left wing and a striker. I don't know. I mean, Chelsea are not afraid to spend money in terms of transfer fees. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing business differently to what we did at, when these owners first came in. But transfer fees, Chelsea, if the Chelsea prepared to pay big transfer fees, it's the wages at the end of the day. Look, do I think Chelsea are going to do another 700 million, so another £100 million players? Maybe not, but maybe not. I don't fucking know, guys. But we need better. For me, Gittins is not really any better than anything we've already got. And that's my number one issue with the signing, is that he's not better than anyone we've got. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to an Mbeumo. I wouldn't be opposed to an Mbeumo. I don't think an Mbeumo is a bad signing at all. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, let's move on to this last bit about Strasbourg, because apparently, according to iNews, Strasbourg are hopeful of hanging on to Andre Santos for another season, particularly. Oh, excuse me. I have to sneeze. Oh, it's gone now. It's mugged me off. Strasbourg are hopeful of hanging on to Andre Santos for another season, particularly if they qualify for the Champions. Excuse me. Particularly qualify for the Champions League. Interesting. I'm not really sure what they're hoping for here, because as far as I'm aware, from what everyone's been reporting, Andre Santos is set for a key role at Chelsea next season, and will be part of the squad, and we're going to test him out in the Club World Cup. If we're in different European competitions, we could, but I've got a feeling we might end up in the same one. Mate, what even is Matissa Mugu? The guy didn't even make the bench for that game against Djurgården on Thursday. You got a 16-year-old kid starting ahead of him. The Matissa Mugu thing was a madness. I don't know what was going on there. I do not know what was going on there. But let's read the article. So this is obviously an interview with Leon Rosenia and one of the Strasbourg coaches. So the iPaper understands that Strasbourg are hopeful of hanging on to Andre Santos for another season, particularly if they qualify for the Champions League. Club sources say nothing is out of the question, but his form may be too good to ignore, either for Enzo Maresca or for the bean counters at Stamford Bridge looking for profit margins. But no one will begrudge the Brazilian anything in France. Let's have a look. Is saying anything else? Yeah, so according to this report, Strasbourg are hopeful of hanging on to Santos for another season if they get Champions League. And club sources say nothing is out of the question. I mean, yeah, bro, I tend to agree with you on this trail of thought. I absolutely agree with you here. No doubt about it. I think those are the scenarios. Santos is either playing for Chelsea next season, he's not going on loan, so he's either going to be part of the squad next season, or he's going to be sold. That's the reality of the situation here. Part of the squad, or he's sold. Very, very simple. I'm not really sure what indication Strasbourg have been getting that there might be a chance that Santos stays for another season. What indications have they been getting from that? What indications have they been receiving? Because that's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. If they've heard something that they think maybe they're going to get a sniff, maybe they'll get a. Maybe, I don't know what they've heard, but that's that. I mean, I've not heard this anywhere else. But that's very interesting if they think that might be a possibility. Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. Yep, absolutely. You know, no loans. If Chelsea and Strasbourg are both in the Champions League, no loans, no business between the two clubs. Yeah, no. Again, it's not. Again, it's yeah. He has. You know, the Athletics said a similar thing about Petrovic, as you point out, that he could choose to remain at Strasbourg if they're in the Champions League next season. That's something which hasn't been ruled out. Bring me Enzo, Lavia, Caicedo, Sansonosugu midfield. Yeah, and those 5 midfield options are a madness. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Mm. It's just Liam Rossinia trying to express ambition. Yeah, it could well be. It could well be just Liam Rossinia trying to express a little bit of ambition. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But look, I hope there's no twists in this Santos thing. It's just very straightforward and he comes back to the club. But part of me just feels like maybe there is something there. Maybe there is something there. And I don't know about it. I don't know. I don't know. Let's wait and see though. Yeah, I mean, look, of course he'd like them. Of course he'd like them. I don't blame him at all for thinking that way. Yeah, I hope Santos stays. Yeah, Club World Cup. He's well. I mean, according to reports and people in the know, he's expected to play at the Club World Cup. So yeah, brother, enjoy. I mean, I'd love to come out to the Club World Cup. It's just so expensive. So expensive. But yeah, enjoy, mate. Enjoy. But let's get rid of that Santos stuff. Let's see what else is going on, guys. Let's have a look what else is going on. If there's anything going on. Let's check. Not as much else happening, people. They almost think they always have to keep Santos. Logically, you're selling these young players the dream of playing for Chelsea, even if they go on loan. Can't just sell them straight away once they make it. Yeah, I hear you on that. I do hear you on that. But yeah, it can't be ruled out. It can't be ruled out, unfortunately. Højlund having a terrible game against Villa, by the way. Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. But I mean, it doesn't mean he's a bad player. But yeah, as I said, you're going to expect inconsistencies with young players. That's what comes with the territory of being a young player. And that's why, again, for me, that's why I'm not wanting Dean Højlund if he's going to be the only centre-back signing. Because it just doesn't make sense that in that regard, it doesn't make sense. So why should we? I mean, is there any further news, people? I mean, guys, chat. Put your score predictions in, by the way, for the Newcastle game tomorrow before we round out. Get your score predictions in the chat for tomorrow's game with Newcastle. Get them in, people. Get those score predictions in. Let me know what you're saying. Win, lose, draw. What are we saying, guys? Let's go through a few of them. 3-1 Chelsea, 2-1 Chelsea, 1-1. The 1-1 is probably what I think is most likely as well. I'm going for a 1-1. But yeah, keep them coming in, chat. Keep them coming in. 1-3 Chelsea. And any questions you've got about anything as well, fire them in, guys. But yeah, get those score predictions in and fire any questions as well. We've got 2-1 Chelsea and Fat. Bro, it's possible. That's a distinct possibility. It's a lot of stairs. Yeah, if you haven't been to Newcastle, it's a lot of stairs. Mate, I'm going to be spending basically the whole day with Fat tomorrow. Me and him are flying up from Heathrow tomorrow morning, early doors. And yeah, maybe I'll have to give him a hand up the stairs. Who knows? 5-0. I mean, bro, and it's not going to be 5-0. I'm good. Enzo Dog ran Guimaraes in the internationals last month. He's got this. Well, let's see. I mean, obviously the Newcastle midfield is very different to the Brazil midfield. But let's wait and see. Big up, yes. We need to win with Man City dropping some points today. We can go third spot. Yeah, exactly. Big opportunity. But yeah, guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's tuned in tonight. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Let's get this up to 100 likes if we can. We're on 83 at the moment. Let's get another 15 likes on the way out. Smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button as well. We're on the road to 20k now. Let's get to 17k first. So we're heading towards that 20k. So please do subscribe if you're new around here. Please smash the like button. Get this to 100 likes. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. I'll be heading up to St. James's Park tomorrow morning for the big one. Stay tuned for content, guys, coming from the game. Yeah, I might well be live tomorrow night when I get back. We'll see. But stay tuned for plenty of clips. And guys, if you want more clips of the games and stuff, drop me a follow on TikTok. I'll drop my username in the chat now. If you want more content from the ground, then follow me on TikTok, Charlie Patrick 87. Because that was the only number or something that was available for my username. But anyway, who cares about that? Big up, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's hope for a Chelsea win tomorrow. I'll see you lot all tomorrow. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.